Welcome to Jersey Line. Pat O'Melia here, your pro football prognosticator. I went like 7-7 for the week. Wasn't good. You know, we had some ridiculous, like I've been saying, it's so hard this year to pick teams from week to week. You know, Dallas gets obliterated. Buffalo, 14.5 points. They're giving Jacksonville, and they lost outright, 9-6. One of the most high-powered offenses in the NFL put up a whopping 6 points. It is so. Of all the years I've been doing Jersey Line, this year is the toughest. I have yet to have one of those 11-4 weeks. Everything is 7-7, 6-8, that sort of thing. You know, Pittsburgh, they did all they could to lose Monday night. They did everything. The reps try to help them, and still, Pittsburgh almost lost that game. You know, good teams, KC. What happened to KC? Yeah, it is so difficult. My Giants are on a bye this week, so I'm taking another crack. Hopefully, I can put some distance. I'm below 500 for the year, and hopefully I catch up because I've never been below 500 for the season. This is week 10 of the NFL. Weeks going by. We got 17 weeks this year, even though Tom Brady's not crazy about that. He's upset about that 17th game. Thursday night, we got Baltimore at Miami. Baltimore, there's another Jekyll and Hyde team, Baltimore. But Miami's got a lot of problems. Even though they didn't play too bad last week, I'm not sure about Tuva, who's quarterback in there. But I'm going to go with Baltimore. I'll go with Lamar. Hopefully they get themselves rolling again. I'm going to take Baltimore, minus 7.5 in Miami, over under 46.5. Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Yeah, again, an incredible game last week. How the hell has Jacksonville outright beat Buffalo? I don't think they're going to do that in Indianapolis. I'm going to go with Indianapolis minus 10.5, over and under 45.5. Cleveland at New England. I haven't been doing best bets. This might be my best bet of the week. I haven't done one in a while. I like Cleveland at New England. Cleveland's going to score. New England has scoring issues. They got a young quarterback there. Baker Mayfield seems to have found himself now that Odell Beckham is gone. You know, Beckham's either going to go with Green Bay or Seattle. Watch for the Rams in that, too. The Rams might be interested. Well, we'll see where Odell goes. He's still a great wide receiver. I'm going to go with Cleveland at New England. I'm going to take Cleveland, and I'm getting points with the Browns. I'm going to take Cleveland plus 1.5, over under 45. 1 o'clock game, Atlanta at Dallas. It's a big spot. Atlanta's getting 9.5. I think Dallas and Prescott right the ship here. I'm going to go with Dallas, minus 9.5. I don't have the over-under on that card. It's probably on the screen. 1 o'clock again, we got Buffalo at the Jets. Buffalo should be super angry. And I don't care what John White does. I don't think they got a prayer against Buffalo this week. Buffalo's got one of the best offenses in the NFL, and I think statistically, they have the number 1 defense in the NFL. And I think that's going to show up. It's a big spot, 12 points. I'm going to take Buffalo minus 12 against the rejuvenated John White Jets. Buffalo minus 12, over under 48. 1 o'clock game, New Orleans at Tennessee. You should bet the opposite of whatever I say with New Orleans, because that has happened for the last 9 weeks. I go with New Orleans, they lose. I go against, they win. Tennessee is on a tremendous roll. You've just seen what they did. They won again in surprising fashion against the Rams. Game on Boston. New Orleans at Tennessee. I'm going to ride with Tennessee. It's a small spot. Tennessee minus 2.5, over under 44.5. We'll see what happens. It might be wise to bet against me when it comes to New Orleans. 1 o'clock game. The Buccaneers are back from their bye week. They're at Washington, a big spot, 9.5. Washington plays Tampa Bay tough. You remember the playoffs last year, where the Hanky kid made a name for himself. He's the starting quarterback in Washington now. And I think you put some talent around the kid, he'll be all right. I'm going to go with Washington at home against Tampa Bay, even though they're coming off a bye. I'm going to take Washington and those 9.5 points, over under 51.5. 1 o'clock game, Detroit at Pittsburgh. Detroit's eventually going to win a game, hopefully this season. I'm going to take Detroit at Pittsburgh because Big Ben looked like he was ready to retire in last week's game. And again, Pittsburgh did everything they could to lose that game. I'm going to take Detroit plus 8.5, over under 42.5. 4 o'clock game. Minnesota at, hard for me to always say that, Minnesota at LA Chargers. Chargers are -3. Last week, the reason we got $122 in the bank is I mistakenly took the Chargers minus, I think it was 2.5 last week, and I took the over-under. And like I said, mistakenly, I had bet it twice on FanDuel. The second time, I mistaken. I was going to bet Arizona, which good thing I didn't because they didn't cover. So I had 2 bets on the LA Chargers, and they won. So that's why we got a few bucks in the bank. I'm going to ride with the Chargers again. I think it's going to be high scoring between these two teams. I'm going to take the Chargers -3, over-under the big one, 53. 4 o'clock game. Carolina at Arizona. Carolina, they're going to start one of my favorite quarterbacks from the XFL, P.J. Walker. Sam Darnold has a fracture, so he's going to be out for a good 3-4 weeks. You know, Sam hasn't played well in the last 5 weeks. They went 3-0, then lost every other game. Arizona, I'm sure, will win this game. It's a big spot, 10.5. Carolina doesn't have a lot going. I'm not even sure McCaffrey's playing this week, but I'm going to go with Arizona, -10.5, over under 44. Over under 44. That's Arizona can do that by themselves. Here we go, 4 o'clock game. Seattle at Green Bay. Russell Wilson is back. We're not sure about Aaron Rodgers. He's got to clear his protocols for COVID. I'm assuming he's playing. I'm going to take Green Bay -3.5, over under 49.5. 4 o'clock game, Philadelphia at Denver. Denver's been playing well. Teddy Bridgewater's been playing well. They don't have the record to show for it. They've lost some close games. Philadelphia, again, you got the young quarterback starting there. Really 2 evenly matched teams. I'm going to go with Denver. I'm going to Denver -2.5, and whatever the over-under is on the screen. I don't have it on my card. 8 o'clock game. KC at Las Vegas, the Raiders. Again, there's more problems. They just had to cut another guy because of some stupid video with guns. You know, they had the wide receiver who was involved in a horrible car accident fatality. The Raiders, they got issues going on here. They're reeling a bit. KC's got to put it together, and nothing wakes up KC like the Raiders. So I'm going to go with KC -2.5, over under a 52.5. I think Pat Mahomes. Looks like Pat Mahomes this weekend. And Monday night, Rams at San Francisco. Should be a good game. Should be a game that the Rams have to show who they really are after last week with Tennessee. I'm going to take the Rams, -4, over under 49. Bet with your head. Remember, you're not to bet a lot of money on FanDuel. $5 is fine. Bet smart. Enjoy the games. I'll talk to you next week. Good luck.